Good afternoon all. Welcome to the lecture of number theory. I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So in last lecture we've seen GCD and some theorems depending on the definition of GCD. So first, what is GCD?
Greatest
Yes. What
common
is the
divisor.
greatest common divisor? Yes. What is its definition? If A and B are any two integers in which at least one among them will be non-zero, then the GCD of these two integers AB will be D if that D holds the two conditions, that is D is the common divisor of both the integers A and B, and if there is one more common divisor C of the integers A and B, then that C must be less equal by D or C must divides D. Then only we say that the corresponding D will be a GCD of the given two integers A and B, and the GCD is always greater than 0. Now next again there is one theorem. If A and B are any two integers, are any two integers not both 0, it means at least one among them will be non-zero. Okay, so A and B are any two integers, not both 0. Then there exist integers in x and y. Exist integers small x and small y such that GCD of that two integers AB is nothing but AX plus BY. Okay. So whenever A and B are any two integers, not both 0, then there exist two integers x and y such that GCD of AB is nothing but AX plus BY. That is, its meaning, its simple meaning is the GCD of two integers AB can be expressed as a linear combination of these two integers AB. Okay? Proof. Let us define a set. Here we will construct one set. Define a set. Yes, which contains all the linear combinations of A and B, that is AX1 plus BY1, such that AX1 plus BY1 must be greater than 0, and X and Y are any two integers, that is they are belonging to set of integers. Okay, so for proving this one, that is GCD can be expressed as a linear combination of the integers A and B, we have constructed one set, that is set yes contains all the linear combinations of A and B, where all these linear combinations are greater than 0 whenever xy are belonging to Z. Okay, now as since at least one of A and B are non-zero, since already we have given that A and B are any two integers and not both 0, it means at least one among them will be non-zero. Okay, as since at least one of A and B is non-zero, it means modulus of A comma modulus of B belonging to yes. Since set yes contains all the linear combinations of A and B where linear combination will be greater than 0, as A and B are any two integers. Okay, if suppose both are non-zero, whatever it will be, either they are positive or negative, its modulus will be always positive. Then modulus of this integer must be a member of yes. Since for that case we have to take the values of x1, if we have to show that modulus of A is belonging to yes, then we have to take value of x1, b and y1 as a 1, as we have already know that xy are belonging to Z, and here we have supposed that A and B are the two non-zero integers, then modulus of A must be belonging to yes. If suppose we have to prove that modulus of B is belonging to yes, then we have to keep the values of A, x1 and y1 as 1, then modulus of B is again belonging to yes. If suppose either B is equal to 0, if B is equal to 0, then take value of x1 as 1, then modulus of A is again belonging to yes. Since modulus as A is non-zero, then modulus of A must be greater than 0, and by this one that element must be belonging to yes. Same for the modulus of b. If a equal to 0, then keep value of y1 as 1, then modulus of b is a member of yes. Okay, so as here we have either a or b is non-zero, so that modulus of a and modulus of b belonging to yes. That is, as here there exists an element which belonging to yes, it means that yes is a non-empty set. So yes is non-empty. Okay, now here, yes is a set which contains all the linear combinations of A and B which are greater than a 0. And X, Y are members of Z. It means it is a collection of set of positive integer. And here we have yes is non-empty set. So, as yes is non-empty and it is a subset of set of positive integer, then by the Weyl ordering principle, what is the Weyl ordering principle? Yes, what is the Weyl ordering principle? Any subset of set of any non-empty subset of a set of positive integer has
List element.
least element. As here yes is non-empty and it is subset of set of positive integer, then this set yes has a least element. Okay, then by Weyl ordering principle, yes has least element. Okay, so let us say d equal to ax plus by be a list element of that set. Yes. Okay, now as d is ax plus by, it means d is a list element. It means it is less than all the remaining elements. Then definitely as modulus of a and modulus of b are belonging to yes, it implies that d is less equal by modulus of a and d is less equal by modulus of b. Since already we know that modulus of a and modulus of b are belonging to yes. Okay, as they are belonging to yes, it means that d is less equal by modulus of a and d is less equal by modulus of b. Since d is the least element. Okay, now by division algorithm. By division algorithm. Okay, as here d is less equal by modulus of a, and what is the division algorithm? If a and b are any two integers, in which if b is greater than 0 and a is greater equal by b, then a is nothing but b into q plus r. Okay, as here modulus of a is greater equal by d, then we can express this modulus of a in the multiple of d plus some remainder. So modulus of a is nothing but d into some q plus r, where 0 is less equal by r and which is less than. Whenever a is equal to bq plus r, then range of r is from 0 to less than simply b. Okay, so let us take this one as some equation number 2 and this d equal to ax plus by as equation number 1. Okay, now find out the value of r, subtract minus of dq from both sides, then r is nothing but modulus of a minus of d into q. But we know that the value of d is nothing but ax plus by. Put that value, modulus of a minus d is nothing but ax plus by into q. But we know that modulus of a is nothing but plus or minus of a minus ax plus by into q. Okay, so which is equal to, take a common, then we get a plus or minus of 1 minus of x into q and this minus of by as it is, minus of by into q, by into q. That is, we can write this one as a is a into plus or minus 1 minus of x into q plus b into minus of y into q. As we know that plus 1 minus 1 is an integer, x and q both are integers, then whatever will either it is minus 1 or plus 1, its value will be again an integer. So it is some x1. Again this minus of y is integer, q is integer, then its multiplication is again an integer. Let us take this one as sum, ax1 plus by1. Okay, so r is of the form ax1 plus by1. Okay, but yes be a set which contains all the elements ax1 plus by1 whenever ax1 plus by1 is greater equal by 0. Sorry, this one is will be greater equal by 0. Okay, now as here R is of the form ax1 plus by1, and already we know that x1 plus by1 will be greater than equal by 0, then it must be belonging to set yes. As R is in this form ax1 plus by1, okay, so it implies that R is a member of set yes. Since ax1 plus by1, already we know that set yes contains all the linear combinations of AB which are greater or equal by 0. As here, range of R is nothing but this one. Either it is equal to 0 or it is greater than 0. It means that R is always positive and R is in this form. It implies that R must be a member of yes. Now, as here, R is a member of yes, but R has two possibilities. Either R will be equal to 0 or it is greater than 0. So here we will assume that R will be greater than 0. Okay, so if R is greater than 0, then we get a contradiction to D as a list element. Then we get a contradiction to D as the list element. Since as D is the list element, then there is no element in set yes which is less than D. But here R is strictly less than D and R is a member of yes, and whenever R is greater than 0, then we have a contradiction to our assumption, which implies R must be equal to 0. That is, there is only one possibility that R will be equal to 0. Okay, so let us take R equal to 0. If we take R equal to 0, then our equation 2 becomes, equation 2 is nothing but modulus of A equal to D into Q plus R. So it's nothing but modulus of A, which implies equation 2 becomes modulus of A is equal to D into Q plus R will be 0. Now, as here modulus of A is a multiple of D, then by the definition of divisibility, that D divides modulus of. Okay, so here we get D divides modulus of B. Whenever we have taken the division algorithm on this one, then we get D divides modulus of A. If we apply the division algorithm on this one, then we get D divides modulus of B. In a similar manner, D divides modulus of B also. Okay, so here D is the common divisor of modulus of A and modulus of B. Okay, now here let S is any other common divisor of A and B. As here D divides modulus of A and D divides modulus of B. It means whenever it divides the modulus value of this one, definitely D divides A and D divides B also. Okay. So yes divides A and yes divides B, which implies as yes divides these two integers A and B, then yes must divides its any linear combination AX plus BY. But AX plus BY is nothing but D. So yes divides D. So D by the definition of greatest common divisor, D holds the first condition, that is D divides A and D divides B. And whenever there is one another common divisor yes which divides both the integers A and B, then that yes is strictly less equal by D, or yes divides D. It means the second condition also holds, which implies D is the greatest common divisor of A and B. Okay, so GCD of A and B is equal to D. But what is D? D is nothing but AX plus B. And that is we have to show, which implies GCD of AB is nothing but AX plus B. And hence the yes, कुणाल काही डाऊट यामध्ये?
No, sir.
Okay. Now there is one corollary depending on this theorem. Let us see the first statement. Corollary. If A and B are any two even integers, are any two even integers not both zero, then the set yes, then the set yes, which contains all the linear combinations of a and b such that x and y are integers, consist of multiple of d, that is GCD of AB. Okay, so whenever a and b are any two even integers, not both zero, it means at least one among them will be non-zero. So the set yes, which contains all the linear combination of a and b, x plus by, where x and y are any two integers, consist of multiples of d. It means the set yes contains the multiples of d, that is d and its multiples. Okay, so prove as D is the GCD of both A and B. Okay, which implies as D is the GCD, then by the definition of GCD, D must divides A and D divides B. It means D divides any linear combination of A and B for all integers x and y. Okay, now let us suppose as D divides ax plus by, then just here we have to apply the definition of divisibility only, which implies there exists an integer q such that ax plus by is nothing but d into q for some integer q. That is already we have taken. So there exists an integer some q such that ax plus by will be equal to d into q. Now we have to prove that yes contains the multiples of d, but ax plus by, whatever will be the integers x and y, ax plus by is a member of set yes, which implies set yes contains, as each ax plus by is a multiple of d and each ax plus by is a belonging to yes, it means set yes contains the multiples of, that is, if d is equal to ax naught plus by naught for some integers x naught and y naught, which implies n into d is nothing but n into ax naught plus n into by naught. Okay, so it can be written as n into d is equal to a into n into x naught plus b into n into y naught. As n, x naught and y naught are integers, then its multiplication is again an integer, which implies this n into d is belonging to yes. So there are multiples of d in the set yes, and that is we have to prove, and hence the proof. Okay. Now next theorem. If a is equal to b into q plus r, then GCD of two integers a and b is nothing but GCD of b and r. Okay, so whenever a is of the form b into q plus r, then GCD of these two integers a and b is nothing but the GCD of b and r. That is we have to prove. Okay. So here we have to take GCD of AB will be equal to some D, and we show that GCD of BR is also D, and then this one will be proved. Okay, so prove. Let D be the GCD of two integers A and B, as D is the GCD, which implies D divides A and D divides B, which is just by the definition of greatest common divisor. Okay. As D divides A and D divides B, which implies D divides any linear combination of A and B. which implies D divides A minus of B into Q. But A plus A is nothing but BQ plus R. So what is the value of A minus BQ? Yes, what is A minus BQ?
R.
Which is R. So here, whenever D is the GCD of AB, then D divides A and D divides B. As it divides both the integers A and B, then it divides any linear combination of A and B. That is, D divides A minus BQ, but A minus BQ is nothing but R. So here we will get D divides R, which implies D divides B and D divides R. Okay, so as here we have to show that GCD of BR is D. It means we have to find out D is the common divisor of B and R, and it one will be the greatest divisor of B and R. So here we get common divisor of B and R is D. Now it remains to check the second condition of greatest common divisor. Okay, so for that we will take one C which divides B and also divides R. If this C is less equal by D or it divides D, then our condition will be definitely holding, which implies. Now again, as C divides B and R, then it divides any linear combination of B and R. So D divides BQ plus R. But what is the BQ plus R? A. So which implies C divides A. As here, C divides A and C already divides B, which implies C divides A and C divides B. So here C is the common divisor of A and B, which implies C is common divisor of two integers A and B. But what is the GCD of AB?
D.
But GCD of A and B is D. So here GCD of AB is D and C is the common divisor of A and B. Then what is the relation between C and D?
D greater than equal to C.
Yes, which implies C is less equal by D, which is just by the definition of GCD. Okay, so whenever C is less equal by D, and that is we have to prove. Okay, so which implies that GCD of AB is nothing but the GCD of BR, which is equal to D, which implies GCD of BR is also D. Since D is the common divisor of B and R, and whenever there is one another common divisor C of B and R, then that C will be less equal by D. As C is less equal by D, it implies that D is the greatest common divisor of B and R. And we have to prove that GCD of AB is nothing but the GCD of BR, and which is equal to D, and hence the proof. Yes, यामध्ये कोणाला काही डाऊट? आहेत नाहीत काहीतरी? Okay, if there is no doubt, then there is one next theorem. If k is greater than 0, k is an integer which is greater than 0, then GCD of KA comma KB is equal to k into GCD of AB. That one we have to prove. Okay, so whenever k is one integer which is greater than 0, then GCD of K comma KB is nothing but k times the GCD of AB. Okay. Now it's proved. We know the Euclid's algorithm. In that A is nothing but BQ1 plus R1, and from that one we have constructed B, R1, R2 up to so on, Rn minus 2. Okay, so that is we have to use. Now, each of the equation, if each of the equation occurring in the Euclid's algorithm for two integers A and B is multiplied by some k, as here k is greater than 0, then we can multiply by k. is multiplied by k, we obtain, as we know that what is a is nothing but b into q plus r, where 0 is less equal by r, which is strictly less than b. Instead of q and r, we here is b1 and q1 and r1. Similarly, second equation is nothing but b equal to r1 into q2 plus r2, where 0 is less equal by r2, which is strictly less than r1. And up r1 is nothing but r2 into q3 plus r3, where 0 is less equal by r3, which is less than r2, and up to so on. What is rn minus 2 then? Yes, what is rn minus 2?
R
QL.
n minus
Aryan
1
QN.
Qn.
rn की rn minus 1,
Rn
Aryan
minus 1
minus
rn minus 1 qn plus rn, where 0 is less equal by
Rn
rn, which is simply less
less
than
than
rn
Rn.
minus 1.
Then
Now we have to multiply all these equations by k. Okay, so first one is nothing but, what is first one now? Multiply this one by k, so it is nothing but k times a is equal to k into b into q1, a into b into q1 plus k times r1, k times r1, where 0 is less equal by, now here if a is equal to b q1 plus r1, then 0 is less equal by r1, which is less than b, but here now r1 is k r1, it is k r1, and which is less, strictly less than k times of b. Similarly, second one becomes k into b is equal to k into r1 q2 plus k into r2, where 0 is less equal by k times of r2, which is strictly less than k times of r1, and up to so on. The last k into rn minus 2 is equal to k times rn minus of 1 into qn plus k times of rn, where 0 is less equal by k into rn, which is strictly less than k into rn minus of 1. Okay? Yes, यामध्ये कुणाला काही डाऊट?
Sir.
Now, by the Euclid's algorithm, but this is clearly the Euclid's algorithm to the integers ka and kb, since whenever there are two integers a and b, then having Euclid's algorithm will be this one, that is left hand side. Okay, and whenever there are two integers k and kb, then it's Euclid's algorithm this right hand side. Okay, so by comparing this one with Euclid's algorithm, this one is nothing but the Euclid's algorithm of two integers ka and kb. Okay, now we know that by the Euclid's algorithm we have to continue this step up to whenever rn will be equal to 0. At that step we have to stop. Whenever rn will be equal to 0, then what is the gcd of that two integers a and b?
Yes, sir.
Yes, whenever rn will be equal to 0 in Euclid's algorithm, what is the gcd of a and b?
K into Rn minus 1.
येस, याच्यामध्ये सांगा तुम्ही, के मध्ये यूज नका, फक्त याचं सांगा.
Rn.
Euclid's algorithm मध्ये जीसीडी काय होता एबीचा? आर्यन जर 0 असेल तर rn minus 1 ला जीसीडी घेत होतो ना आपण. As this one is the Euclid's algorithm of k and kb, then definitely this k into rn will be equal to 0. Whenever k into rn will be equal to 0, then what is its gcd?
0.
अरे जीसीडी झिरो नसतो हो कधीच. लास्ट स्टेपला जर आर्यन झिरो होत असेल तर प्रिव्हियस स्टेप मधला आर्यन मायनस वन हा माझा जीसीडी असतो. लास्ट स्टेपला के इंटू आर्यन जर झिरो होत झाला तर प्रिव्हियस स्टेपचा काय जीसीडी असेल?
ARN -1.
के इंटू आर्यन मायनस वन जीसीडी असेल. सो इट इज के इंटू आर्यन मायनस वन. But what is Rn minus 1? Rn minus 1 is the GCD of A and B, which is from this one. Since here, whenever Rn will be equal to 0, then Rn minus 1 is the GCD. So K into Rn minus 1 is now GCD of A and B. Okay. So what is this one? GCD of Ka comma Kb is equal to K times the GCD of AB. Okay, and that is we have to prove. Hence the proof. येस कुणाल काही डाऊट? आहेत का कुणाला डाऊट?
No, sir.
हा की नाही?
No. No, sir.
Okay, there is no doubt. Then again there is corollary depending on this thing. Just tell me, whenever we replace this k greater than 0 by k less than 0, that is k strictly less than 0, whether this result is true or not. जो k greater than 0 आहे त्याला जर आपण k less than 0 ने जर रिप्लेस केला तर ही जीसीडी k इक्वल जीसीडी ऑफ k कॉमा kb इज इक्वल टू k टाइम्स द जीसीडी ऑफ ab. हा रिझल्ट होल्ड होईल की नाही? येस कळतंय ना मी म्हणलेलं? के ग्रेटर दॅन झिरोच्या ऐवजी के लेस दॅन झिरो जर घेतला तर हा रिझल्ट होल्ड होईल का? फॉर एक्झाम्पल इफ सपोज फर्स्ट टाइम जीसीडी ऑफ 12 and 30 is equal to what is the common multiplication in these two factors?
6.
6 into 2
2 and
Comma?
6 into 5.
6 into 5. So what is the value of k here? This one will be work size of k. So it is k times the GCD of two integers 2 and 5. What is k? K is a 6. So 6 into what is the GCD of 2 and 5?
1.
Which is 1 and it is equal to 6. Okay, for k greater than 0 it will be definitely 2. If suppose k is less than 0, for same example, GCD of 12 and 30, we can express this one as GCD of minus of 6 into minus 2 comma minus of 6 into minus 5. Same. So what is the value of k here?
-6.
So k is minus 6. Minus of 6 into GCD of minus 2 comma minus 5. What is the GCD of minus 2 comma minus 5?
1.
Which is again 1. Since we know that GCD of AB is nothing but the GCD of minus a comma minus b. Minus 6 into 1 and which is equal to minus 6. Whether this one are equal.
No.
दोन्ही सेम आहेत का GCD?
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay.
So this result is not true for k less than.
K less than
For
0.
that we have to construct one corollary. So let us see first what is a corollary. Okay, for any integer k not equal to 0, since whenever k is equal to 0 then there is no meaning for this result. Since whenever here k will be equal to 0 then k into a is 0 and k into b will be equal to 0. As both are the integers are 0 then we can't define the GCD. Since we know that the GCD for find out the GCD of any two integers, at least one among them will be non-zero. As k equal to 0 then there is no meaning for these two terms k and kb. So here we have to take k must be non-zero. So for any integer k not equal to 0, GCD of ka comma kb is nothing but modulus of k times GCD of ab. Okay, either k is greater than 0 or k is less than 0. Whenever k will be greater than 0, then that modulus of k will be equal to k. But if it is less than 0, then we have to take minus of minus k. Okay, so let us see the proof first. Now, as k is non-zero, it means there are two possibilities for k. Then either k is greater than 0 or k is less than 0. Now, if k is greater than 0, then by previous theorem, GCD of k comma kb is equal to k times of GCD of AB. But k is positive, it means it is equal to its modulus. So GCD of AB. So whenever k is greater than 0, then the result will be obviously true. Now it remains to prove for k less than 0. Now, if k is less than 0, then what is the minus of k? K is already less than 0. Okay, k is already less than 0 and we have multiplied by it by minus 1. Then it must be equal to modulus of k. Yes or no?
Yes.
Since k is already less than 0 and we have multiplied it by minus 1. So minus of minus that term will be modulus of k. Okay, so consider GCD of Ka comma Kb, which can be written as we know that GCD of Ka comma Kb is nothing but the GCD of minus of Ka comma minus of Kb. So GCD of minus of K comma minus of Kb, which is from this one. GCD of any two integers AB is nothing but GCD of minus of A comma minus of B, which is equal to GCD of. But what is minus k? Minus k is nothing but modulus of k. So modulus of k into A comma modulus of k into B. But we know that modulus of k is greater than 0. Since as k is less than 0, then modulus of k must be greater than 0. As modulus of k is greater than 0, and GCD of modulus of k times A comma modulus of k times B is nothing but modulus of k times GCD of AB. Since modulus of k is greater than 0 and by previous theorem, whenever there is an integer k which is greater than 0, then GCD of k comma kb is modulus of k times GCD of AB. Previous. Okay, so GCD of k comma kb is equal to modulus of k times GCD of AB whenever k is any non-zero integers. Okay, and that is we have to put. Hence the proof. Yes, up to now, any doubt? Yes, आतापर्यंत कोणाला काही डाऊट असतील तर विचारू शकता. आहे नाही काहीतरी सांगा.
नाही
Okay, before going to our theorem, what are the relatively prime integers? Yes, दोन इंटिजरला आपण रिलेटिव्हली प्राइम कधी म्हणतो? का म्हणतच नाही कधी रिलेटिव्हली प्राइम? हे ऑलरेडी झालेलं आहे बरं का तुम्हाला टीवाय मध्ये, नवीन काही नाही आहे. काय पाहिजे?
GCD कॉमन पाहिजे.
कॉमन जीसीडी म्हणजे मला कळालं नाही हा शब्द.
When there are no any common factor other than 1.
Yes, there is no common divisor other than 1. For that, whether म्हणजे जेव्हा आपण कोणत्याही दोन इंटिजरचा जीसीडी काढतो त्यासाठी मला कमीत कमी एक नॉन झिरो पाहिजे होता. जर रिलेटिव्हली प्राइम सांगायचं असेल तर त्यासाठी ही सेम कंडिशन राहील का? म्हणजे त्या दोघांमधून कमीत कमी एक तरी नॉन झिरो पाहिजे. ऑब्विसली असेल ना, जर असे दोन्ही पैकी एक नॉन झिरो असेल तर जीसीडी फाइंड आउट करू शकतो आपण. ओके, सो एनी इंटिजर्स a and b are said to be relatively prime if GCD of that two integers AB will be equal to 1. Then we say that these two integers a and b are relatively prime. Now there is one result: two integers a and b are said to be relatively prime if and only if there exist integers x and y such that 1 is nothing but ax plus by. So here we have to prove the if and only if statement. Then we have to go through two steps. First part, if part. Okay, so first one is if part. In that we have to assume that a and b are relatively prime, and we have to prove that 1 is nothing but ax plus by. And in second one we have to suppose that 1 is nothing but the linear combination of two integers ab, and we have to prove that a and b are relatively prime. Okay, so first let a and b are relatively prime. A and b are relatively prime. As a and b are relatively prime, that is, it means GCD of ab will be 1. And we have just proved one result. If a and b are any two integers, then GCD of that two integers ab is nothing but ax plus by. That is, d is equal to ax plus by. Then by that theorem, by previous theorem, there exist integers x and y such that the GCD of AB, which is now 1, is nothing but ax plus by. So 1 is equal to ax plus by. And I think that is we have to prove this one. So hence the proof for first part. Okay. Now only if part. Second part will be only if part. Okay, so let us suppose that 1 is the linear combination of a and b. Consider 1 is ax plus by. And we know that if d is the GCD of two integers a and b, which implies d divides a and d divides b also. Okay, and it implies that d divides ax plus by. Okay, whenever d is the GCD of two integers, then it must divide a and b. And if whenever it divides a and b, then it divides any linear combination of ax plus by. But what is ax plus by here? Here ax plus by will be 1. Okay, so d divides 1. As we already know that d is the, here we have taken d as the greatest common divisor, and d is always greater than 0, which is just by the definition of greatest common divisor. As d is greater than 0 and d divides 1, then what are the possible values of d? d हा एक इंटीजर आहे जो की 0 पेक्षा मोठा आहे आणि तो डिवाइड करतो 1 ला, तर तो d काय असू शकतो?
1.
d हा फक्त 1च असू शकतो तरच पॉसिबल आहे, which implies d will be equal to 1. But what is d? d is the GCD of AB, and which is equal to 1, which implies GCD of AB is 1, and that is we have to prove. Hence the proof. As GCD of AB will be equal to 1, then which implies A and B are relatively prime. And hence our required. Okay. Now, there are some definitions. What is a prime number? Prime number. Yes, याला कसं define करणार?
Only two divisors.
That is, it has only two positive divisors. Okay, so a positive integer p other than 1 is said to be a prime number if its only positive divisors are only positive divisors are 1 and p only, then the corresponding integer p is said to be a prime number. Okay, then by definition of prime number, let us tell me what is a composite number. Yes, what is a composite number? Whether one is a composite number. येस, एखाद्या इंटिजरला कॉम्पोजिट कधी म्हणतो तुम्ही? कधी म्हणू शकता कॉम्पोजिट?
एकापेक्षा जास्त म्हणजे दोनपेक्षा जास्त डिवायझरने भागलं.
Yes, it means an integer which is greater than 1, which is not a prime, is said to be a composite number. Okay, so any integer greater than 1, which is not prime, is called composite number. Yes, एखादा example सांगू शकता? For example, what is a composite number?
4.
4, 6, 8, 10, whatever it will be. Okay, similarly, examples of prime number.
2, 3, 5.
2, 3, 5. What about 7?
Yes, sir.
Whether 9 is a prime number?
Not, sir.
Now, the next definition. Twin number. First is its definition. Two successive odd integers. P and P plus 2. Which are prime. Are called twin numbers. Okay, so what are the twin numbers? Two successive odd integers, म्हणजे एकानंतर एक घेतलेले दोन odd integer जे की असे घ्यायचे की p and p plus 2, where p is already prime, in which p and p plus 2 both are prime, then the corresponding numbers are called as a twin numbers. Example सांगू शकता याची?
3 and 5.
3 and 5. For example,
5 and 7.
3 and 5. Similarly, 5 and 7. Yes.
11 and 13.
11 and 13 and so on. Okay. So such numbers are nothing but the twin numbers. Now next one. A palindrome number. Okay. A palindrome number is the number that reads the same backward as well as forward. Okay. एखाद्या नंबरला जर आपण राईट हँडनी रीड करा किंवा लेफ्ट हँडने रीड करा, जर सेमच नंबर असेल तर तसा नंबर हा पॅलिंड्रोम नंबर म्हणला. ओके, फॉर एक्झाम्पल 111. Either we can write this number from left hand side or right hand side. It is same. Similarly 101. Yes, तुम्ही एखादा सांगू शकता का?
222.
12, 22.
Yes.
22.
Whatever. Whether 100 is a palindrome number?
No, sir.
No.
Yes. Okay. Now next one is nothing but the relatively prime number, and we have already seen what is a relatively prime number. Okay, what is a relatively prime numbers? Just note down the definition. Two integers a and b not both zero are said to be relatively prime if its GCD will be 1. Prime. If GCD of these two integers a and b is equal to 1. Okay, so these are the some important definitions. ठीक आहे, आजच्या लेक्चरमध्ये जर कोणाला काही डाऊट असेल तर विचारू शकता.
No, sir.